All right. Speaking of growing our follower base, here's a fun list that I have an answer for. Most likely to deny the Armenian genocide. Jeffrey,
Wait, is it
me,
most likely to least or least to most?
most likely to deny the Armenian genocide happened. Jeffrey,
Okay.
me, Max Avery.
Okay. Uh, Josh, Jeffrey, Avery, Max.
Josh, Jeffrey, Avery,
Max.
Max.
It's most to least mysterious.
Most mysterious is Josh. Next mysterious is Jeffrey. Jeffrey's mysterious.
Jeffrey, the number of people who see you in public and go, "What's his deal?" is shocking. I think you're more mysterious to the general public.
I will say I do a bar Shakespeare thing where we have a single rehearsal and then perform a Shakespeare play in a bar. And it's like cut down to 90 minutes, and we're doing As You Like It, and I'm playing Jaques, but I thought it would be a funny bit to do it to play it like a weeb. And so I'm doing it but I was walking around to get to rehearsal in hot knee-high white socks, sandals, cargo shorts, a neon Genesis of an anime shirt, a knee-length denim like duster jacket, and then a red fedora. I was walking around in that, and yeah, the whole voice is I go, all the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players, and that's the voice, and I think it works.
I mean, it sounds like a good bit because it made me really mad, which I feel like has to be part of the point.
Yeah, yeah.
If any of our viewers aren't, what's the word I'm looking for? Not demented,
There,
not deranged. What's
psychotic,
not
Silly.
not
Are you looking for silly?
debilitated, um,
disabled.
not disabled, close though, very close, very close. If any of our
There's
viewers
no way this is going to be hurtful.
aren't,
I refuse to believe this is about to be a hurtful bit.
if any of our viewers aren't, I don't know, it's something very negative. Um, Thespians, if they aren't thespians, that last minute is going to be incredibly alienating to them.
Then got it. Then just got it.
Just hearing you prattle on about being a fucking weeb and doing a little bit of a Shakespeare monologue. Yeah, no, there's like one person in the world I can think of that would genuinely enjoy that.
I'm mad. This episode sucks.
No one knows Shakespeare.
Hey, Samantha. Just wanted to talk to you a little bit. The genocide stuff has to go. The intro can just be Jeffrey speaking in a weeb like Shakespeare thing. I would be okay with that. Thanks, babe.
Yeah, I was
You
thinking,
know
I don't
what?
think much of this is usable thus far.
If the fucking if the viewers probably do think that I'm fucking mysterious because they probably never hear me speak because every time I say anything, someone asks for it to get cut. I have no lines. I have no lines in this show.
Josh said, I'm being censored. I'm
I'm
being
being
censored on my own
persecuted.
show. Call Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan would come on here and he would set you guys straight. He would.
I love the idea of someone. Yeah, well, I'm going to tell Joe Rogan about this.
Can we reach out to Joe Rogan? And actually, I'll just reach out to him and I'll say, Joe, I'm on a podcast and I'm being very censored by my friends. Can you please come on and discuss censorship with us?
We should do Joe Rogan like an Ask Amy thing, but with Joe Rogan. I think that would be good. Where he like
Just like
solves advice.
lie and say Joe Rogan like sent us answers to questions. He would definitely do us.
It has to be convincing enough that we don't have to pay his appearance fee of what I imagine is like $100,000. And so
Yeah.
I think yeah, we could do this bit as long as we actually do Joe Rogan's opinion, because then he goes to sue us, but then he's like, you know what, actually though, that is pretty much what I would have said.
Not to
That's
be
pretty much it.
political, but did you guys watch Joe Rogan's most recent like stand-up special on Netflix?
I don't personally
no.
I don't like a ton of his comedy, so
Right.
I did
I
not
totally
watch
get
that.
that.
You
Yeah, first
you
of all.
told me like a week back that you're caught up on his podcast.
realistically, he pays premium. There are no commercial breaks.
I don't consume any other media because I don't have time for it. The man puts out so much content. It's all joking all day.
When Andrew Tate went to jail, he said, "All right, I should take a step back." And that's
I have not seen his special, but I saw the outfit he wore for his special, and I knew I wasn't going to watch it. I
it's
might have curiosity watched it, but I saw that little short roided out ape man in his moo of a fucking unbuttoned collared shirt, and I thought, no fucking way did that guy not go to Express Men right before the show and buy that.
it's like it's not good, but he is such a cuck. Like the entire time, I know, I mean, the entire special is like, oh, like, okay, maybe I said that kids weren't actually like, they were all crisis actors. They didn't really die. He's like, I didn't mean it. You shouldn't get your news from me. That's the whole special. That is it. There's not really a joke. It's just him being like, okay, yeah, COVID, it was real. Sue me. That's like the whole thing.
I think there's
Hell yeah,
nothing,
Joe.
I think there's nothing worse than when someone who's really been in the news or is getting a lot of attention does a stand-up special immediately after because it becomes just a personal talking thing about what's been going on. Like, I actually think Pete Davidson is pretty funny as a stand-up, but then he got super famous. It was dating everybody and like Kanye, and he did stand up, and it was literally just like, yeah, we know the news stories about you are crazy. Like, you got famous really fast. It's not funny at all.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, no one wants to see media, no one wants to watch stand-up, no one wants to listen to music for the most part that's about like the road. Do you know what I mean? When like
Oh,
comedians
yeah.
all they have left is like, oh, I was at this, I wanted the Four Seasons, but I got booked at the fucking Marriott. Like no one gives a fuck.
Yeah. It's
Maybe
like
not.
yeah, because before you're a like when you're getting famous as a stand-up, you're telling real jokes because you're a real person.
Relatable.
And then the only thing you have in your life later on is that you are a stand-up comedian. Um, it's like when I hear a lot of complaints about like, I read a thing about like there's so many scripts where like a writer has to deal with two assassins or a writer gets thrown into a mystery and it's all these writers with pretty boring jobs
Really embarrassing.
throwing themselves into an exciting situation. Pretty embarrassing.
Oh, I was gonna tell the story earlier before we were recording, and I wanted to save it for Max because I thought that he would have opinions on rescue dogs. But we were talking about how Max was drinking 4 Aperol spritzes, and that's why he was late. It's because he was getting hammered.
I'm currently drinking my first Aperol Spritz.
First. Yeah.
First on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we were talking about chugging, like desperately drinking things. And I remembered I was going to compare him to this dog that I knew growing up because my friend had a dog that was a rescue dog. So it was damaged. And it didn't have any like water in its enclosure back where, whatever, I don't know if like a human just like tied it up to like a stake in that outdoors or something, but it didn't have any water. So anytime it saw water, it would drink water until it threw up. And so you'd have to be really careful about putting water around because it would like see the water and beeline for the water. It was a big dog. So it was hard to like hold back.
Yeah.
But like if you like if you left water anywhere and then we were like playing Halo somewhere, you would hear, like a normal dog where it sounds like slop, 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 you'd hear like, and Daniel was like, oh my God, dog.
That's
That's Max with Aperol spritzes.
Whose dog was it?
Daniel's dog. Cut that. Cut Dan. Actually, fuck it. What's up, Daniel?
What up, Daniel?
Yeah. And that's Max with Aperol spritzes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't
Oh,
stop. They're good.
man. Wait, what was the rest of the list? Okay, me, Jeffrey, was it Max Avery or Avery Max?
Avery Max.
Avery Max. Max, does that offend you?
For mysterious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that would make you upset.
I
There's no world. You'd have to be so delusional.
I'm not. That's a level of. It's a level of delusion I haven't reached, and it is a life of yearning for an air of mystery and a deep, deep awareness that it is an inability of mine and not something I exude, and having to accept that.
What level of
So I
separation?
accept fourth place with
Sorry, I
what
interrupted.
level of what?
I was gonna say, did you say that
What
you
were you
accept
about to add?
fourth place with grace?
With humility.
Oh, with humility. I didn't hear the last word. I didn't know if it was going to be grace or aplomb or, but it was humility. I was going to ask, what level of separation does a person need from you in order, you think, to assume that you are mysterious? Because everyone's mysterious to someone if you don't know them.
I think I walk in an unmysterious way. I feel like my jaunt just does not exude mystery. I think there's a couple times I've been very put together and dressed in a suit in the middle of the city going somewhere, like looking pretty good. And then those types of interactions I've had, I think maybe I am exuding a sort of confident mystery purely because people don't know me. Um, and I look, I don't know, I just like slick black hair. I think there's a look to it. I think the last time I really was confused for mysterious, I was tired at a party and just kind of sitting there while my friend was talking to someone. And she was like, "You're just the guy who goes to," some girl was like, "You're just the guy who goes to parties and is like too cool for everybody in the corner, right?" And I was like, "I don't think you know me at all. I must look pretty tired right now because that's not really my vibe."
I think I might be misunderstanding what mysterious is. Is mysterious not just like not having information about
Yeah,
something?
mysterious. I actually think we should clarify this. We should do an operational definition because
Mm.
I think Jeffrey is mysterious, but I think he's mysterious in that he is confusing. I think there, I think when you call
That
some
was so casual. That was so just like off the cuff, unkind.
I think when we I think when we talk about mysterious as an aura, it is often aspirational and it is a quiet confidence without reaching that offers nothing of itself in a way that engages others in a desire to figure it out. And I think it is not pure lack of information about people, though I think they can go hand in hand. But I personally find when you're calling someone mysterious, I think it is more of a vibe descriptor than a specific reality descriptor. If you can look at someone and think you might be able to figure out their deal, they're not mysterious, even if you don't know anything about it. I think if you know a little bit of information about this tall older dude in a suit who's always hanging out at the coffee shop by you, but you know his name, and you see a frat bro in Oakley's and a hat and a quarter zip walk by you, and you have no idea about him, and you don't know his name, and you've never seen him. I think the first guy is more mysterious, you know, even though you technically have more information about him.
Okay.
I
You're
think
kind of like,
it's I don't think it has to be like cool though. I don't think you have to be
no, it
like
doesn't have to be cool, but I obviously think of it in degrees of cool. I think there are not cool, mysterious people for sure.
yeah. I just think it's like someone who I actually may align a little more with Josh. I do think some of it has to do with information. I think mysterious is like when someone is kind of like
Maybe,
that girl was saying, it's like they're someone in a situation where it's like, oh, I should know something about them, even if it's just a vibe, and
yeah.
they're like, not saying anything. Like they're sort of not fitting.
Yeah. Well, okay, what if you simultaneously have to elicit a desire for knowledge about a person without satisfying that knowledge?
I'm
So,
fine with that.
the
That
frat
works.
bro walking by me encourages no curiosity. Cloak girl at Olaf encourages a lot of curiosity, and I then don't get an answer. That's a mysterious person.
She was mysterious.
Do
Jeffrey
you
walking
know?
by like a weed, mysterious.
All right, now that we've established that, let's start with, and just so you guys know, I need to go handle something that's going to take maybe 5 to 10 minutes, but if I don't handle it right now, it will distract me the whole episode. I can't quite tell you what it is, but if you would grant me that,
Yeah.
Can we then kick off from there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you good?
Yeah, or
I
actually,
I am okay. I'm just handling something that happened right before we started filming.
sure.
Okay,
Take
cool.
your time.
Wait, is this something we shouldn't mention on the can we sit here for 10 minutes and speculate, or should we avoid it? You're on mute, I'm sorry.
You're muted.
Well, you should just figure out my answer. You can do that. I'm leaving it up to Avery and Jeffrey, not you, to decide which guesses need to be cut. Yeah? Cool. All right.
Oh, and then if we get it right, can we get one chance to say what we think it was? And if we get it right, will you tell us?
Yes.
We get one chance, one shot to say what we think it is.
Sure. I'm not guaranteeing I will confirm or deny, but I will hear your guess.
Jeffrey just wants a
Yes.
shot, dude.
I'll take it.
Okay, I'm
I
calling it
think he
right
pissed
now.
himself.
I'm calling it right this minute for benevolent reasons that would not be problematic if fully exhumed. Max is hitting a woman.
I think that's actually
It's a certain type of Heimlich where you gotta just punch. It's a Heimlich that involves a single closed fist.
he's saving a woman's life right now.
He's saving a woman's choking and you're laughing.
Mm-hmm.
She's choking to death and you're laughing.
Right.
It's a very greater good, lesser of two evils kind of situation.
Yeah.
I think the 4 Aperol spritzes went right through him and he pissed himself.
I thought it was gonna have something to do with the the torrent of alcohol that he unleashed into his pants. Sure.
That's my thought. I bet it reeks
He
down
gave
there.
the dog alcohol because he thought it would be funny, and it was not funny. And now his housemate.
Have you all seen I saved this to send to you, Josh. There's a meme or something on Reddit where it's a guy who had to talk to a lawyer to try to get out of it because he signed a legally binding BDSM contract. But then his owner for the past month had been exclusively feeding him what she called slave food, which was equal parts wet dog food and piss. That's all he
Equal
had
parts
eaten.
is great.
And that's all he had eaten for the past month. And he's trying to get out of a contract that's like a real contract because he just he can't keep eating piss. Oh, big
Enforce
fan.
that.
So
How,
what?
I have some questions. How did she enforce that? Like, couldn't he just? Oh man, I was gonna say, couldn't he just leave his abusive situation with a
Oh,
legal binding contract? All right, you know what? I rescind that. I take that back.
Stand up,
so
sir. Stand up. Stop eating slave food.
I was a big fan of that.
That's so do you think maybe Max has something to do with that? Like he has a situation where he's like hired someone to do BDSM things on him and she just showed up?
Max might have eaten some slave food and he's got the squirts now. Or he might be concocting some slave food because he's pissing out his 4 Aperol spritzes into some dog food.
Ooh, and he's feeding the slave food to someone else?
Max is mixing slave food right now. That's our second
Said slave so much. Too much.
I'm gonna start writing these down. Okay, number 1, should we say benevolently hitting a woman or like
Hitting a woman for a good cause.
Okay.
Saving a woman's life by hitting her.
I'm gonna write down benevolently hitting a woman.
He said, I'm gonna write down what I said.
It's just the shortest. I don't want to write down more words. I thought maybe we were
that's
one
the
word
for
option.
sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Benevolently hitting a woman. All right, mixing slave food. Okay, these are good. We might get it, honestly.
Okay, yeah, I think we're so he's been gone for a little bit.
Look, I'm thinking it's the piss because I think he's got to like clean it up. I think it's the thing where he's like, it would bother me the whole episode because he was like, I could do it at the end, but it would bother me. And so me sitting in your piss pants is something where you're like, nobody would know. He could. Max always, I think he said earlier that he always sits on a tarp in his chair just in case this
He
happens.
did say that.
So he's like, he's not worried about it like getting on the chair. He's just like, I will be thinking about it.
Right, he caught it.
And the smell.
Right, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Do you
So-
think he's doing like the ice bucket challenge for ALS?
And that's why he can't tell us about it because he's gonna tag us next.
Right. And it's 5 to 10 minutes because he has to like do it, dry off, change, you know?
He's ooh, check Facebook.
He comes back with wet hair. Ugh.
Well, no, we know. We know. Should I write that one down?
You could
Or
say ALS Ice Bucket
Well,
Challenge.
we don't have, you know, let's hold off. Let's hold off.
Yeah, let's hold
My
off.
cousin did he did a challenge called the Friskies Challenge, and it wasn't for any charity. And it was just people tagging each other, telling them to eat cat food. I thought of this because of the dog food. And we should do that for punishment. Here's something. Do you think Max is doing some of his punishments so that he has them logged? So when he loses, he can just whip one out?
Yeah, I think Max
tell
said
us.
I have to go, and he's just staring at pictures of bats.
I think maybe there's a bat in the house and he's just scared to tell us because he knows we'll make fun of him.
I think Max has a fish that's been making too much noise, and so he had to go grab the fish and then just hold it in his hand out of the tank for a while as like a punishment. It's like air jail.
Max is,
kind of holds the fish in his hand out of
Like an electric chair. Yeah, I'm with
funnily enough, knowing how Max is, like how he actually feels some things for fish, that one might make him the most upset out of any. Max is killing his fish by just picking them up one by
No,
one.
I don't think he's killing them. I think he's just doing it long enough to punish them and then putting them back in the water.
Max is corporally punishing his fish.
Yeah.
That's cool.
These are good guesses, crew.
Yeah, no, these are good.
I
good.
think Max is shaving the rest of his mustache.
Max is doing the ALS ice bucket challenge, but he doesn't have running water because they turned it off. So he just has his fish tank. So he has to put a bunch of ice in with the fish, and then he dumps it on himself.
And he doesn't realize they're gonna freeze to death, and he's gonna have a mental breakdown through this episode as he watches them slowly fall one by one.
Right.
Ooh. I think Max saw his profile picture that he puts on when his screen goes off, didn't like it, and is going to take another picture to change it. That's what I think he's doing.
I think Max is regretting the headband, and he's going back and he's like changing. He's like wash his hair and like redo it.
I was gonna say, if there's one aspect of his outfit that he would, need 5 or 10 minutes to like fix, it would probably be the headband. He'd say, yeah, you know
With
what,
the hair, yeah.
the way this looks, I'm gonna
Yeah. He's like, this is such a big fucking mistake. I fucking hate it.
I made a big choice.
He's looking at himself like, who the fuck do I think I am?
Yeah, he's looking at himself in the mirror. He's going, "Fuck you."
You always do this. You always try, and you shouldn't try.
Your friends are laughing at you every second you're away. They're laughing at you.
It would be if Max were just off screen shaving his head right now. I think
would be so
that
cool.
would be a really fun reveal for when.
Yeah, that would be really good.
It would shock me.
What are the odds that Max is getting some water?
Max is guzzling it out, bro.
He just doesn't want to admit it.
Just putting down. He's putting 5 to 6 down the hatch.
Max is like, I can't wait till the end of the episode, because that's what he said. He said, I can wait, but it would bother me. It's because by the end of the episode, he's going to be shaking.
Max sees that there's still some left in the bottle, some alcohol left, and it's in the corner of his vision. And it's going to bother him until he.
I just gotta take care of this.
Gotta take care of something. Gotta take care of this.
Well, we're getting some good.
Shocking thing Max could do.
The
Like,
most
that is
shocking
really-
thing.
Yeah, that if you were to come back, shaving the hair, that's a great one. But what's something else that Max could do that would truly rock us to our cores?
I'm writing down chugging his 5th Aperol spritz.
Yeah.
Something Max could do to shake us to our core. All of my answers aren't very funny, so I can't really. They're all things that are like that would be shocking, but I'm like that's not very funny.
Sorry, I was writing. What was the question?
What's the
something
most
Max-
shocking thing Max could come back having done?
Having done. So we have to see like physical evidence of it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, blackface.
I think blackface.
Blackface would be really shocking.
I'll open it. Red face, yellow
Yeah.
face.
You know what? If he just painted himself purple and then came back and was like, all right, Gaslight Gameshow episode 24 and didn't address it at all, very jarring. That would be for Max to do. Sure. Honestly, this is the answer. If Max were to change anything about his appearance or affect and not mention it insistently, that would disturb me in a way I would not be able to process.
Stop the show.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
You good?
Dude, what the fuck is up? Okay, here's another one. Max stole something from a store earlier today. It was more expensive than he thought it was. The cops are at his house.
I was just about to say he saw the cops at his door and he was like, this will just take 5 to 10 minutes.
Max is actively in custody right now. No way to tell us.
I do think, though, if there was any person I knew who could talk their way out of custody, it's Max. I think Max could do that.
I think he's got a fighter's chance. I think he'd probably be a pretty polarizing force with officers because he's very charming. But I also think that they can smell the Irish Italian on him and they know that he's got to be behind bars.
Max kind of gives the vibe that he is cop like beating material.
Right.
You know what I mean? The cops would see him and they're like
odds, more than anyone that I am close to personally, the odds are the highest for Max that right now he is getting tuned up by the Chicago PD behind a Wendy's. They took him in the squad car and they're just taking turns with him right now.
Okay, so that's another guess. Max is
getting tuned up by the cops behind a Wendy's.
Yeah, by the CPD. Okay.
Writing it down.
Max is getting tuned up by the CPD. Okay, that's the next option. Okay.
What was the last thing he said to us? He was like, if I can handle this, it's something that just came up and we start right after that. Is that something y'all can deal with?
It was something, he made it clear that like it didn't have to be now, but it would bother him.
Is this Max being upset that I called him not mysterious and he's like, I'll show him mysterious?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, right, proving a point. Max is proving a point.
I'd actually respect that one so much. That's funny. That'd be funny of him.
Honestly, I'm thinking he's pretty mysterious right now. We're spending 10 minutes just being like, what is he doing?
Proving a point in parentheticals, being mysterious.
Being mysterious.
Yeah, being mysterious.
What if he doesn't come back?
Yeah.
What's the longest we'd wait before we'd call?
I'd say until the bits dry up. As soon as the endorphin roller coaster of bits stops and we start to peter out towards the bottom, like 45 minutes, that's when we think like, oh shit, maybe we should give him a call.
Yep. It's when all three of us collectively just have like the
oh yeah.
He just wanted to come back.
Where's Max? Yeah, that's that.
Okay, yeah. That's fair.
Yeah. Josh, what's our list? Read us our list. What have we got?
So far, we have benevolently hitting a woman.
Okay.
Mixing slave food.
Great.
Chugging his 5th Aperol spritz.
Great.
Getting tuned up by the Chicago Police Department behind a Wendy's. And proving a point, being mysterious. An honorable mention, because I think it's worth throwing out there, that he's doing the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge right now.
I liked he's taking a new Zoom pic. I like that. A new profile picture. I like that.
I'll put that in as another honorable mention.
Okay, a realistic one. There's a live stream he wants to watch, and he just wants to watch as much as he can and get away with it.
It's the season premiere of Blue Bloods.
And Max is like, this is my real.
I do know today, because it's Wednesday, today the trailer for Wednesday season 2 dropped. Max is watching like an analysis video.
And over.
I'm gonna take it a step
Max is
further.
watching one of those like YouTubers like, here's all the Easter eggs you missed in the trailer.
Okay, so write down jacking off to the Wednesday Addams trailer.
I was gonna say gooning. He's gooning. He's gooning. Addams season 2. Yeah.
Gooning Wednesday.
He's on X, not Twitter. He's gooning.
Yeah.
Can we read him all of the ones we've written down?
I think we have to. We absolutely have to read all the ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he promised us that if we guessed it right, he would tell us.
Look, I know we said no more genocide talk. Okay, but
Strong
Max is
start.
here.
Strong
Max is
start.
here.
the odds, I think the odds are not zero that he actually knows nothing about the Armenian genocide. He's been fronting and he's frantically doing research.
You have to write that one down. You know what would be surprising, but I would be thrilled and also horrified because we would have done it, is if he came back with a lobster neck tattoo.
Yeah, no, that would be.
He's not going to, but
No. I think there's a 0% chance because no one can pull
Nobody could pull it off.
no one can pull it off.
Not a single person alive could pull it off. No matter how cool, no matter how mysterious, no person can pull it off.
No matter how cool they'd look standing next to a motorcycle with a cigarette in hand. No
Ugh.
one could do it.
Yeah, where is Max?
Yeah, so
Where is Max? Has it been 5 to 10 minutes? It's certainly been 5.
how long have we been filming? Can you see?
No, actually, I can't.
Sick.
It's just a fun mystery every single week, which is kind of cool.
Okay,
Max,
it's definitely been 10.
Oh, okay.
Definitely been 10 at least.
Well, then I'm adding to the list lying to his friends.
Good.
I mean, that's yes, like he is, right?
I'm putting the timestamp of 10 minutes too. Max is huffing markers. Max is huffing glue. Max is huffing spray paint.
Max is having a quickie, but it's not so quick because he can't get it up.
Right. Or
Max is
better,
suffering from erectile dysfunction.
Max can't finish. I think that's better than not.
He just keeps going and
He just
going.
keeps going. The horse just keeps going around the track.
He accidentally took a Viagra and he thought it wouldn't work because he doesn't understand how pills work.
Max said 5 to 10 minutes, not knowing that it's already been 5 hours and he should have gone to the doctor.
Wait, Viagra makes it bad hard?
If you don't need it, yeah.
Oh, wait, what do you mean if you don't need it?
You don't have ED.
Oh, if you don't have ED. Okay, I thought, okay.
You're just taking it for fun, which you shouldn't do.
I mean, isn't the point of sex to have fun?
The hospital won't even
Isn't
see
sex
Josh
fun?
anymore.
The hospital has started turning me away. They're saying, we know you're doing this for attention. Please stop.
Josh comes into the hospital weekly and they just need to look at his pants and they're like, no, not again.
But
No.
he said, send in the urologist. Give me the urologist. Maybe Max is visiting the urologist. Like a Zoom medical call.
Every week I go into the emergency room and I take more Viagra than the week before because I'm trying to show them that it's bigger than before, but it doesn't get any bigger. It just gets more red and swollen. I'm talking about my penis.
Okay.
I get it now.
Yeah, my bad. I thought
because the first time I went in, I genuinely had, actually I'm gonna flip this to Max. Okay, this is what Max is doing. Max took a Viagra. Every week he's been taking a Viagra and going into the emergency room to try and get the operatives there to comment on how large his penis is because he takes more and more every week. Because the first time he did it, he took Viagra on and got an erection for too long on accident, and nobody commented on the length or girth of his penis. And then since then, he's been taking more and more. Avery's gone. More and more every week. And Jeffrey's typing on his he's finishing his review. He's been taking, I'm gonna power through. Max has been taking more and more Viagra every week consecutively to try and get the techs in the ER to comment on his penis, but it's just destroying his kidneys and damaging the vascular structure of his sexual organs. It is just me and you now, Jeffrey. But it almost feels like it's just me because there we are. Hey, everyone listen. We are going to talk a little bit more about genocide, and we're going to rank them in terms of their up, and she's back. Okay.
I heard you talking and I said, stop! So I'm back now. Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. Where is Max?
Where is Jeffrey?
Jeffrey's waiting for someone to ask that. That was his bit. He's like,
yeah.
Oh, hey.
God,
I
I
I
really
guess somebody
miss
cares. I
I
guess
really
somebody cares
missed
enough to ask.
seeing the reflection of your fucking review in your glasses as you smugly look down at
I
your
have not been writing the
saying
fucking
nothing.
review.
I don't believe you.
Oh my God,
Okay.
why? Oh, he took it. What's crazy is that he just realized that he could edit it a little bit more.
Yeah.
He said,
Sorry, I have to. It's going to take 5 to 10 minutes. I can't be specific about what it is, but it's just going to. But I'll be right back.
okay. What's fun about Jeffrey, who I know is still listening, is that he's not
I'm not listening.
okay. He's not mysterious or interesting in like a way that would make us want to ask more. It would make us be like, I should get away from that guy.
Max.
I'm very
Max is
sorry.
back.
I'm very sorry that took much longer than I thought it would.
We got so lost in the sauce that and we were really going off the rails there.
We wrote down some options and we were wondering if we could read them to you.
Yeah, we wrote down some guesses of what you were
I
doing.
thought you were given one guess, but you were allowed to do multiple.
We like all of these.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's start with some on.
Okay, I'll tell you two things. If you get it exactly right, like to the detail, I will tell you were right. And if you, after that, I will tell you which one I wish it had been.
Okay, well, I feel pretty confident we're going to get it exactly right. So
This is feeling sad.
We cast a wide net with these guesses.
Okay.
Let's start with some honorable mentions. Taking a new Zoom pic.
No, that was not it. That's funny though.
The ALS Ice Bucket Challenge.
No, which I have heard is making a comeback.
No way. That could be a fun punishment, is that if one of us loses, we're forced to donate to the ALS Foundation.
We would hate to.
Or we could be given an option where we have to do the Ice Bucket Challenge or donate. Anyway, these are the guesses. Okay. During that 5 to 10 minutes, Max was benevolently hitting a woman.
I feel like you led with that one as soon as I was leaving the room. Did I hear that one?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we thought it might be that.
Yeah, we liked it though. We thought
that was the first guess. That was the first guess. Okay.
Yes, we're going.
Maybe you were
chronological in the, except for the honorable mentions. These are all in the order that we guessed. Mixing slave food.
Like for a slave?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Chugging his 5th Aperol spritz.
No. Slowly sipping my 2nd, so not correct. And I can do that on camera.
Max was getting tuned up by the Chicago PD behind a Wendy's.
It was a Burger King.
Okay, we're getting close. Proving a point, in parentheticals, being mysterious.
Oh, no, that's not it.
Max said, "Oh, I have to go do something," and it's just sitting at the computer.
Max was gooning to the release of the Wednesday Addams season 2 trailer.
All right. Well, I'm taking back that thing about telling you if you got it exactly right, but that's a funny guess.
After 10 minutes, the leading guest became lying to his friends. And then finally, frantically researching the Armenian genocide.
That's a good one. Technically was lying to my friends because it was longer than 10 minutes. Now, I've gotten away with this a lot in my life. Is it lying if you are legitimately wrong about something you thought?
I don't think that's a lie. I don't think that counts as a lie.
Are you asking if stupidity is lying?
Well, I wouldn't like to be thought of as stupid.
Well, no, I'm not saying I'm not calling you stupid. I'm saying like situationally. Like I'm not a vegan, but I'll eat some tofu. You know, you might not be stupid, but you might say or do something stupid every now and then.
Yeah, that's a good point. So I guess stupidity is not lying, which is what I'm going to say when under oath.